In the quiet moments of our daily lives, when the hum of the world fades and we find ourselves alone with our thoughts, a subtle ache can take root, a sense that the wellspring of our faith has run dry. It is not a sudden, dramatic crisis, but gentle, persistent thrum of longing for the divine presence that once seemed to pulse through every breath. Many of us have felt that emptiness, that unsettling pause between our prayers and the comforting silence that follows. It is a feeling that can leave us adrift, uncertain of how to navigate the stillness that surrounds us. Yet, even in this quiet, the heart still yearns for the warmth of God's love. When the soul feels this way, the path to renewal can seem obscured. We may look for answers in busy schedules, in the constant buzz of social media, or in fleeting moments of inspiration that never fully satisfy. In these times, the voice of the Church's saints can be a guiding light. Among them, the mystic and poet of the night, St. John of the Cross, offers a profound perspective. His life and writings reveal that spiritual dryness is not merely a deficit, but an invitation, a call to deeper union with the divine. He taught that the soul's journey is marked by periods of testing and purification, where the heart is stripped of all that is not God. In this context, the experience of dryness is not a punishment, but a crucible that refines our love for Christ, sharpening our longing and sharpening our devotion. Our modern world, with its relentless pace and constant distractions, often leaves little room for the quiet contemplation that St. John so deeply cherished. We find ourselves pressed for time, our hearts pulled in many directions, and our senses flooded with noise. This cacophony can dull the inner ear that hears God's whisper. The dryness we experience can feel like a betrayal, as though the very source of our hope has turned away. Yet, the same silence that seems empty can also be a space where the soul is invited to listen more closely, to hear the faint but unmistakable voice of God speaking through the stillness. The unique angle of this script is to weave the personal experience of spiritual dryness with the timeless wisdom of St. John of the Cross, creating a bridge between contemporary struggles and ancient insight. It invites the reader to recognize that the dryness is not a personal failure, but a universal stage in the soul's pilgrimage. By acknowledging this, we can begin to see how the saints' teachings on the dark night of the soul can transform a painful pause into a powerful encounter with divine grace. The script will gently guide the listener toward a deeper understanding of how to navigate these moments without offering premature solutions. Instead, it will plant seeds of reflection that will blossom in the next stages of the journey. We will also explore the role of prayer in this context, how it can serve not just as a request for relief, but as a means of surrendering to the divine plan. The script will hint at the idea that prayer, when approached with humility and trust, can turn the dryness into a fertile ground for growth. The presence of St. John of the Cross will be felt not only as a historical figure, but as a living guide whose intercession can help the soul find its way back to the luminous center of God's love. Thus, the stage is set for a contemplative voyage, a journey that acknowledges the pain of dryness, invites us to lean into the silence, and promises that the very darkness can become a path toward a deeper, more intimate union with the divine. It is a call to trust in the mysterious workings of grace, to find solace in the saint's words, and to open our hearts to the possibility that the very emptiness we feel is a prelude to a profound encounter with the living God. In the hush that follows a morning sunrise, when the world is not yet stirred, seize the quiet as a sacred laboratory. Set a candle, light it, and let its flame be a small universe where God's presence can be felt without the noise of daily life. This simple ritual, repeated each day, trains the soul to pause, to listen, and to recognize the gentle voice that often goes unheard amid our routines. When the day's obligations swell, carve out a 15-minute interlude for contemplative breathing. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly, and with each breath, imagine you are inhaling the breath of God and exhaling your own anxieties. This practice, rooted in the ancient tradition of centering prayer, transforms ordinary respiration into a dialogue with the divine. It invites the heart to release tension and to open itself to the grace that flows beyond the visible. In the midst of your commute or while preparing meals, practice the art of active listening. Instead of letting your thoughts drift into a mental to-do list, turn your focus to sounds around you. The hum of traffic, the rustle of leaves, the cadence of a distant choir. These sounds, when listened to with reverent attention, become vessels of the presence of God. The same principle applies to your conversations. Listen more than you speak, and you'll find that the words you hear are often prayers in disguise. The Eucharistic adoration offers a profound daily anchor. Even if you cannot attend a chapel, set aside a quiet corner in your home, place a small altar, light a candle, and spend 10 minutes in silent adoration. This act of devotion is a tangible reminder that the divine is not distant but present in the sacrament. As you linger in the presence of Christ, the dryness that once seemed insurmountable begins to dissolve, replaced by a renewed sense of purpose. Another practical step is to keep a gratitude journal. Each night, jot down 3 moments where you felt a spark of God's love. Perhaps a stranger's smile, a song that lifted your spirit, or a quiet moment of peace. This practice rewires the mind to notice God's fingerprints in everyday life, turning ordinary experiences into spiritual milestones. In addition, incorporate the practice of liturgical rhythm. Align your daily schedule with the Church's liturgical calendar. When the season of Advent approaches, let the anticipation of Christ's coming color your actions. During Lent, use fasting and almsgiving as tools for self-examination and generosity. This rhythmic alignment provides a broader context for personal prayer, reminding you that your spiritual journey is part of a larger communal pilgrimage. When you feel the pull of distraction, employ the pause and pray technique. Set a timer on your phone for a minute each hour. When it rings, close your eyes, take a breath, and offer a brief prayer of gratitude or request for strength. This micro prayer breaks the cycle of constant busyness, turning each interruption into an opportunity for communion. Finally, cultivate a habit of spiritual reading. Choose a daily passage from the Gospels, a saint's letter, or a short devotional. Read it slowly, then reflect on how its message applies to your current challenges. This disciplined engagement keeps Scripture alive in your heart, allowing it to shape your thoughts and actions in real time. Now, consider how these practices can transform the moments when you confront uncertainty. Imagine standing in a crowded cafe, feeling the weight of a looming deadline. Instead of letting stress overwhelm you, pause, breathe, and offer a quick prayer of trust. In that instant, you will notice a shift, a sense of calm that steadies your mind and redirects your focus toward what truly matters. By weaving these disciplines into your daily life, you create a tapestry of intentional encounters with God. Each thread, be it a candlelit pause, a quiet breath, a moment of gratitude, or liturgical rhythm, contributes to a richer, more resilient spiritual life. As you commit to these practices, the dryness that once seemed impenetrable will gradually give way to a vibrant, living faith that sustains you through every season. Drawing these strands together, we glimpse a quiet architecture that has taken shape in the space between breath and thought, between silence and sound. Each gentle pause, each mindful breath, each moment of attentive listening has contributed a subtle stone to a path that winds to the heart, shaping a terrain that feels both familiar and newly revealed. It is not the individual stone that stands out, but the way the stones interlock, creating a landscape that invites the soul to walk without hesitation, trusting that each step is guided by an unseen hand. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes a gentle unfolding, like a garden that does not reveal all its blossoms at once, but invites us to linger in the fragrance of each petal. The practice of mindful breathing, the quiet adoration that lingers beyond the last candle flame, the practice of pausing to listen to the world's quiet hum. All these acts coalesce into a rhythm that feels as natural as the turning of the seasons. The rhythm is not a mechanical drumbeat, but a living pulse, echoing the heartbeat of the divine, reminding us that grace is not a distant promise, but present reality that flows through us when we open our ears and hearts. As we pivot toward the final reflection, the cumulative effect of these moments is akin to a symphony that, after a long prelude of gentle strings, reaches a crescendo that lifts the listener beyond the ordinary. The music does not shout. It invites, it draws, it holds the breath of the audience in a suspended hush that feels both awestruck and profoundly at peace. In this hush, the soul finds its own echo, a resonance that confirms the presence of God in the quiet places where we have been most willing to listen. Reflecting on this journey so far, we see how each practice, though simple, has contributed a thread to a tapestry that is richer than any single thread could claim. The tapestry does not merely hang on a wall. It moves with the light, shifts in color with the day, and invites the observer to step closer, to feel the texture of its weave. In this way, the spiritual habits we have cultivated have become more than rituals. They are living bridges that carry us from the familiar to the divine, from the mundane to the miraculous. Now, as we stand at the threshold of the final takeaway, the anticipation is not a call to rush, but an invitation to pause. The path that has led us here is a pilgrimage that has been marked by small, intentional steps, each one a testament to the grace that has walked beside us. In this moment of stillness, we are invited to let the quiet that has been cultivated in the preceding moments settle around us like a gentle mist, allowing the deeper truth of the journey to reveal itself in its own time. In the quiet hush that follows the day's last sigh, the heart finally finds its rhythm, not as a frantic drumbeat, but as a steady, gentle pulse that echoes the divine presence we've been cultivating. The practices we have woven into our lives, each breath, each candlelit pause, each moment of attentive listening, have become more than rituals. They are bridges that carry us from the ordinary to the extraordinary, from the fleeting to the eternal. As we stand at the cusp of this quiet, the realization dawns that the journey we have undertaken is not a destination, but a living, breathing dialogue with God that continues to unfold. The true practice begins now, in the space between one breath and the next. It is a subtle invitation to let the quiet become a companion, to allow the stillness to speak louder than the noise. In that silence, the soul is invited to unearth the treasures that it buried under layers of distraction, to rediscover the simple, profound joy of being in the presence of the one who loves us unconditionally. Each mindful inhale becomes a prayer, each exhale a release of the burdens that have weighed us down. The candle's flame, steady and unwavering, becomes a testament that even in the darkest nights, the light of grace persists. This communion is not a solitary act, but a communal one, a shared pilgrimage that connects us to the church's liturgical rhythm and to the saints who have walked similar paths. When we align our hearts with the seasons of the church, we open ourselves to a wider tapestry of grace that transcends our personal struggles. The Eucharistic adoration, the gratitude journal, the practice of pause, all these threads weave into a fabric that is resilient, vibrant, and ever-expanding. The fabric is not static. It stretches and grows as we continue to add new threads of faith, hope, and love. In this ongoing dialogue, the silence becomes a sanctuary where we encounter the mystery of God's presence. It is here that the soul learns to trust, to surrender, and let the divine plan unfold in its own time. The practice of listening, whether to the hum of the world or to the quiet voice within, reminds us that God is always speaking, even when we are too busy to hear. The practice of gratitude turns every encounter into a prayer, turning mundane moments into sacred milestones. The practice of liturgical rhythm reminds us that we are part of a larger story, a story that has been told and lived by countless souls before us. As we move forward, let us carry this quiet awareness into every corner of our lives. Let the breath be a constant reminder of God's breath within us, the candle's flame a beacon of hope, the silence a refuge of grace. In the midst of our daily tasks, may we pause to breathe, to listen, to give thanks, and to remember that the divine is always present, always ready to guide us. The true practice begins now, not as an end, but as a beginning, a new chapter where each day is an opportunity to deepen our communion with God. Let this chapter be written in a language of love, faith, and gratitude, and may it resonate in the hearts of all who seek to walk in the light of the divine. The journey is long, but the destination is not far. It is already within us, waiting to be revealed in the quiet moments of our lives.